And your freedom is not their freedom, because everyone has a different freedom.
My freedom today is, I think, for me, it is back to that thing of being present.
As a parent, what you're doing is doing something for someone else.
That's for the next generation.
Exactly.
And I've realized in all of this, in whatever vision or whatever plan or whatever thing that we want to do, we can't do it alone.
What would you say you wish you would have known before you become a father?
Hey beautiful people, it's Vivien Roggero, and I want to thank you, and please thank yourself for being here. Before we go into this episode, I invite you to join this channel to hear more episodes that will help you create a more meaningful life full of freedom, purpose, and deep, true relationships. All I want you to do is click on the subscribe button. I love your support, and I can't wait to go on this journey of discovery with you. Thank you for subscribing. It means the world to me.
Hi, today I'm welcoming Josh Alexander, a professional illusionist, a life coach with a passion to create magic in the life of every human being that, he can meet, turning the ordinary into really the extraordinary. And most of all, one of my dear friend. This person used his experience over 15 years as a professional magician and illusionist to help his client really break through the illusions that we see all the time and change their world from, a new perspective so they can achieve a realm of transformation in their life. And as life and love relationship coach, he guides those individuals into connecting and expressing what they truly feel and being the true self. But most of all, over everything else, he just became a father. And in today's discussion, this will be all about fatherhood and its impact on freedom. Trust me, it will be a really insightful one, and I cannot wait for you to actually hear it.
One of the things in freedom, the misconception that I've seen a lot, and I was guilty of it for many years, is you think that because you want to be free, you have to take. Actually, to be free, you have to remove. And part of it is your limiting beliefs and mindset about things.
Yep.
And as you said, you can make changing diapers something really valuable if you think about it the right way. And so a lot of what I looked at, and I'm sure you would agree with that, is humans are really good at being influenced.
Yeah, absolutely.
And social media is designed in a way that it influences you. And so at the start, social media is not a bad thing. It is not bad. But then people started using it as like, hey, I'm showing off.
Yeah.
And then there's ego inside. And then they're like, oh, but I don't have a life like them. I'm missing out. Oh, but they look like free and happy. But then you are not them,
Yeah.
And your freedom is not their freedom, because everyone has a different freedom depending on what time you are in your life, where are you, what you like, what's your priority. And so for me, for example, my freedom is partially linked to be sure that my son is happy.
Yeah.
So whatever he needs, whatever I have to invest to be, and I like that, invest, to be there as a parent and to do my best, this is invaluable for me.
Yeah.
Like, this is not something you can even buy with money. It doesn't matter. And so how would you define your freedom now? What is your freedom today?
My freedom today is, I think, for me, it is back to that thing of being present, being in the moment, being not just happy, but grateful.
Yeah.
I think happiness is momentary feeling, but gratitude, even to the level of joy, right? There's a word called joy that people only accumulate to a feeling, but joy is something that you can't really describe with words, because it's this moment where you're just like you said, it's when that kid is on your chest.
Yeah. That's pure.
Yeah, that's actually what my daughter's name means is pure, and I think that's where I'm just like, wow. For me, freedom is being able to just be here, be present, and just be okay.
Yeah.
With whatever.
I hear you.
I mean, I'm not happy, I'm not sad, but I'm here, I'm me.
and I'm where I'm supposed to be with what I'm doing in my life and my career, like that to me.
Yeah, and I think that's the higher level of awareness.
Yeah.
Is, and for what I've understood is when you're you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not someone else. You're not the vision that people has about you. You're not the vision that you have about yourself, but just you're you at that moment in time. And one of the things that I said during my wedding to my wife is, when you marry someone, you marry three people.
Yeah.
The person that they are today, the person that you think they are, and the person that they will become through you and with you in the future.
Yeah.
And all those are you. But being aware of what makes you you, and being able to filter everything else, this is for me also the recipe not only for freedom but for happiness. Because as you say, happiness is temporary, but it's also something that you control.
Yeah.
It is contrary to like physical pain. It is something you can actually control. Like physical pain is a biological reception.
Yeah.
That you get the pain, you're like, okay, I am in pain.
Yeah.
There is medicine, there is whatever you want, but it is nearly impossible to shut down the pain.
Yeah.
You just shut down the feeling from your brain.
Yeah.
Happiness, you can turn it on and off. And awareness and gratitude is a great way to work on happiness.
Yeah.
I think. And for me, the ultimate expression of freedom is being able to do things that make you feel free. Yes, but those things that make you feel free, they bring you happiness.
Yeah. It's a great way to indicate that you have reached that level.
Yeah, because we all have issues, and you know my story, not an easy one.
Yeah.
And still I found gratefulness, I found happiness, and every day I'm happy. I'm happy to be here having this podcast, like unplanned podcast.
And this happiness doesn't just stay with you. You have made it so, in a sense, overflowing.
Yeah.
In a sense that you want to now bring it to other people, right? I know that you're a leader of a little small group of community of couples that you want to help lead them to be able to experience that freedom as well. And me just getting to know you this past few months, I think has just been great. Like we both have that same vision to want to help other people experience it, because we were so transformed by that that we want other people to experience that as well.
And this is the reason why I got to coaching, is like I had my really, really hard journey, but at one point in time, you have to make a choice. Either you stay in the pain or you get transformed. And then through the transformation, I became a coach.
Yeah.
And now I'm helping people do what I do in life, which is like basically being a high achiever and like doing a million things that make you happy and work in ways that you are actually producing something positive.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. This is my vision of it. But for me, work, there is two ways you can look at it. Either it's just a production of value, which give you money. It's a way of seeing it.
Yeah.
Or, for what I see is like, I am producing something for improving the world around me.
Yeah.
So when I do consulting for tech companies, for example, I work with companies that, have the need for that.
Yeah.
When I work as a coach, I help build people that will then build things themselves and impact more people. When I do the group meetings, it's the same. I'm trying to share with other people so we all grow together and improve the other people around. It's always about how can I do more to impact more?
Yeah.
Because if you think that way, there is no limit to what you can do.
Right.
And you never feel it's work. Feel like you're free. You're basically doing what you want that is good for your freedom, because you are pursuing something that is bigger than you.
Yeah.
And to go back to the parenting, I think you would agree with that too, is as a parent, what you're doing is doing something for someone else.
That's for the next generation.
Exactly.
That's amazing. We get to carry on, and again, my wife and I, we both are on the same page. Is like, what are the values that we want to bring forward to our child? Because, there were things that were good in her family. There were things that were good in my family. There were things that didn't work in her family, things that didn't work in my family. And so now that we get to build our own family, that's an opportunity for us to really, like I said, influence our child in a positive direction. And so that we also think this, we're thinking big right now, because now we're thinking about other people.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people are so consumed on themselves and what they can get. But once you change your mind to what can I do that will impact others, that's next level right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And then the goal of this podcast is exactly that. Is like, how do you get the stories of others out that will bring something valuable to those people in life? And as you said, when you're parents, you have to have a set of values.
Yep.
And I love that, because one of the things that I learned from Dr. Peterson, I don't know if you did, Dr. Peterson, he said the most valuable thing that you can do for your child is to make them socially attractive.
Oh, yeah.
But that sentence is actually really difficult, because the society that we are living in right now, especially United States, Europe, Western society, is more about individualism.
Okay.
And when you start to speak about social attraction, that is not individualism anymore.
Yeah.
This is community.
Yeah.
And I think that's, for me, one of the part. And tell me what you think about it, because this is something that I'm putting there. But freedom cannot exist in individualism.
So I definitely agree with that, because one of my things that I always say is that we are not created to live life alone. Like, we just aren't. Whatever you believe, you will be interacting with other people. And so there's this innate need for everyone to have social intelligence, in a sense, to be able to relate with one another, with another person. Because without it, then you're just going to go live in the forest by yourself. But nobody does that, right? You live with people, you interact with people in the grocery store, doctors, colleagues, people on the street. Like, there's, your interactions with other human beings are every day.
Yep.
And so it is, I believe, a very important attribute for an individual to have, to be able to, as you say, experience freedom, right? Yeah. To be, I would say, social awareness is important, right? Yeah. Social intelligence, in a sense. Just how to be put it simply, how to be a people person. How to have people smarts,
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to be an extrovert. It doesn't mean you have to be charismatic. It just means, how are you aware of how you are when you interact with other people? Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. Starts there.
Yeah.
And understanding that bond and interaction is important in a bigger scale.
Yeah.
You don't have to be friends with everybody, but you have to understand that you have influence and impact on every person that you meet. Even people you don't know, you have an influence and impact. And to me, that's a powerful thing, because the words that I say, the actions that I do to someone at the grocery store, to the waiter at the restaurant, like, that my simple smile or thank you can have a huge impact on them, because we don't know what they're going through, right? I don't know who said it, but be careful, or not be careful, but everybody's going through their own battle, right? So be kind to one another. Yeah. Be aware of how we are to other people, and understand that you do need people. So that's the first awareness, that you got to figure out how you are with other people. But then secondly, understanding that it is in a sense, communal or collective effort to kind of live life in a bigger way.
Yeah, there is one thing on that. I'm currently in the hotel in Jakarta, not too far from here. And every morning, the staff greet me with my name.
Yeah. Wow.
This is an incredible, different experience than if a staff is greeting you with your name.
Yeah.
Because you feel a personal connection.
Absolutely.
And name, is so important for a person.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah.
We all, and you say your daughter is called...
her name is Kaya.
Yeah.
Pure.
Exactly, Pure. And my son is Ael, which means angel. Yeah. So those names have a meaning, and my name is Vivien, which is like the life is coming. Yeah. That's what it means. Life is coming. So names they were actually written with a meaning before. And so the name of a person has a meaning for them, but they also have a meaning in general, like everything that we say. And so for me, I think, when you have those interaction with your kids, your family, everything, being able to make this small thing, like smiling, as you say, to someone, or speaking their name, or caring, is incredible.
Yeah.
It's an incredible view of the world also, because, you said before, the mind shift.
Yep.
And then gratitude is a big mind shift. It's shift like,
Yep.
oh, it's a poo diaper, but I'm happy. Which is gratitude, it's like, oh, the poo looks good, okay, that's fine, she's healthy.
Good digestion right there, yeah.
Exactly. And so, going through that, when you look at it, and you have this shift of mindset also to care for people around you, to care about being present and being there for the people, and creating true, real connection, because that's what it is at the end. It's real, true connections. That's also, for me, what I miss a lot right now in society. And I think like coaches, psychologists, therapists, whoever they are, that helping people to build those connection is really important.
Yeah.
It's critical. It's critical. I don't know. What do you think for you right now is the thing that, as a parent, you will have to make your kid go through a lot of things.
Yes.
What do you think is missing that you really would like to bring to that kid?
We are in 2024, and 4 years ago we went through that whole pandemic thing, right? And I've seen kids that were born in that time, and how they've grown up so far. Not all of them are like this, but some of them I've seen have challenges socially.
Oh yeah,
right? And they're not big challenges, but I can see the difference between kids that were born then versus other kids, right? In terms of their social capacity, because they grew up in a home for months upon months and didn't have any interaction with people. So like that was one thing that I want to make sure that my child is able to have those social smarts, to be able to understand how to be okay with people, to have trust with people, and to and build relationships, because that's something that like my wife and I are really big on. We're big on building relationships, and so we want her to be able to build relationships, and again, that starts with being okay first with yourself, and why we want to make sure we affirm her, we make sure that she's okay and that she knows who she is, and from that, then she can also empower and encourage others, and so that's, I think, the part that, that's, again, she's still 4 months old, and I may be speaking kind of out of intensity, but eventually we want to just make sure that our familial bond is strong, because that's a lot of things that a lot of issues and problems around the world start with your families, right? And so I want to make sure that my wife and I do our best to make sure that, like you said, our marriage is tight, so that our family is also going to be a positive environment for her to grow in and develop in. So that we set some good standards, so that when she goes out there and starts dating or whatever, like she knows the high standard that the dude has to overcome. But I think that's, and I've realized in all of this, and whatever vision or whatever plan or whatever thing that we want to do, we can't do it alone, right? I go back to that. And so that's why we've made it a point to be part of a community of other people that are in the same season, so that not that we kind of just share about all of our problems, but like we share about how we can encourage one another, right? I never want to be the guy that I used to be that thought I knew everything.
Oh, yeah.
I always want to surround myself with people that have experience or have knowledge that I can kind of glean off of or kind of learn from. Even parents that have more experience. And again, everybody's got their own way of doing parenting, but at least people that have had experience can share, and I can be encouraged by that. So I think that's the thing that I really value and really want to always actively try to seek is making sure that first our family vision is clear, and that we walk with other people with shared vision, in a sense.
So, looking at community, looking at how you get those different perspectives when you're in the community, because we are, whatever we want to think about ourselves, we are single-minded.
Yeah.
We have our vision, we have our history, our past, and all of that shape the way we are thinking.
Yeah.
And so, even with great awareness, I think that's the most invaluable thing that you gain from a community is a freedom of having all those perspectives around you.
Yeah.
So, for you, as know that married, no father. What would you say you wish you would have known before you become a father? To make it, like, to make you more free, more ready, more there.
Yeah, back to it's gonna be okay. You know, I wish I would have gone back and told myself like you can worry and stress all you want. It doesn't add a single hour of life to you, but just trusting that, hey, it's gonna be all right. Just, you know, if the kid gets sick, great, like you'll be fine, right? Someone told me like they've been parenting for about 3,000 years on this world, and kids have been just fine without all this fancy technology and everything, all these vitamins and whatevers, and like it's gonna be fine, right? As a parent, you have the important thing is how I show up, because I mean there's moments where even if I like am a little bit upset, my daughter will sense that. Before parenting a actual child, I parented a dog, my first dog. You also just had a new puppy, right? And they are, you know, living human beings, whatever. They have a sense, right? They are sensible creatures that like will be able to be influenced by emotions around them. And so I think that, you know, I like, for example, when I first held the baby, like the nurse at the hospital said, hey, you gotta like chill. Like the baby will sense that you are like uptight in a sense, right? And I think that is a lesson that I would have wanted to learn, not right before the baby was born, but like 9 months ago, 9 plus 4 months ago when I knew that we were going to have a baby, like chill. Like I'm just not in general, I'm a person that's very not chill, but I think learning to have been more relaxed and trusting that it's going to be okay would have really helped benefited the journey so that I could have enjoyed it a bit more and been more present, right? Because again, when I'm not chill, I'm thinking of, oh, what could happen or what will happen or what won't happen, rather just being in the moment.
Then you lose your freedom.
Absolutely. Back into, right, trying to grasp the control, which it's, you know, trying to grasp control is like trying to get a hold of water. You're not going to be able to. It's just not possible.
Yeah. And I think one of the sentence when I was in Germany when I had my son, someone told me that I always will remember from all my life, and I think every man and woman should hear that before they even have a child. Woman become a mother the first time they feel the baby in their belly.
Yeah.
Father become a father the first time they hold the baby.
Yeah.
Like your world shift happened at that time.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like you stress all you want, you do all those things during pregnancy, but actually during pregnancy you actually take care of the mother.
Yeah.
There is no tangibility for you. There is no contact.
Right.
And then the moment you have that little baby in your arms, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were speaking about mind shifting. I think that's one of the biggest mind shifts that you can have. And whatever we tell you, as you said, whatever people tell you to prepare yourself, all of that, just chill, just enjoy the moment, be present.
Exactly. That can be applied to every aspect of life, whether you're like trying to figure out your career path or trying to figure out who you are or trying to figure out the other person, like relax.
Yeah.
Take it like one step at a time. I think as some people, they try to take too much at a time, but you know, that's a wisdom of life. Like too much of anything is not good. Too much thinking is not good. Too much sitting is not good. Too much food is not good, right? Like just, you know, find those limitations, your personal limitations, find your boundaries, you know, those start there, right? I rarely try to avoid being the coach that tells people what to do, because nobody likes being told what to do, right? Like nobody likes being told what to do, because that's not what coaches do. Coaches don't tell people what to do, if anything, because they help you find that voice within yourself to find what you want to do, right? And so I think, if anything, you know, if anybody can take away anything from this, it's number one. And I'm speaking to myself. Actually, I'm not speaking to you guys. I'm speaking to myself. It's just chill, just relax. It's gonna be okay. It is okay. You know, it's not that it's going to be okay. It is okay.
It is okay.
Yeah,
it is okay. And this is a funny thing, you know, when I do those podcasts, we always speak, to people. But the truth is, we also speak so much to ourselves. So much to ourselves.
We cannot pour out of an empty cup. We need to make sure that we are filling ourselves with the proper things. Like you said earlier, we were talking about social media. Like, for if not social media, I don't know, fill yourself with something that will help you be able to pour out the best onto others. Or else you're just going to be pouring out junk to people.
Yeah. And before I ask you one last question, there is one thing I want to bounce on that is when you say, if it's not social media, well, just social, like start having people surrounding you because
Real people, not fake people that we
exactly, like real people, real life interaction.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to fill your cup.
Yeah.
That's the best way. If you are surrounded by the right people around you, there is nothing.
I completely agree with that.
Like, social media is just a window.
Yeah.
It is not an interaction.
Said most of it is fake.
Yeah. It's great to keep contact with people that are far away. Like, I have friends all around the world. I don't live in Indonesia. When I come here, I meet everyone. But when I'm not here, social media is great.
Yeah.
You can, have real conversation. You can exchange things. But when you have people around you, just call them, meet them. I think that's how for me, you will have invaluable addition to your life.
Yep, agree.
Look at this podcast.
Yeah. Watch the other podcast too. I want to see your other podcast. So exciting. Yeah. It's been a great talk, man. I really appreciate it.
It was really nice. So now I have one last question for you. If you were to change anything to gain more freedom right now into your life, what would it be?
Oh man, I got to get back into working out. My physical well-being right now, ever since I had the baby, kind of just took a pause. But I think, like, it comes back to us, right? It starts with us, and I think not just our social well-being, but our emotional well-being, which is heavily affected by our physical well-being.
Uh-huh.
And so I know people say, "Oh yeah, go exercise." No, like, I guess got to start simple with just like, if I'm not gonna go join a gym, at least what I eat. I gotta make sure not like we talked about social consumption. There's also food consumption that we could all be aware of. But I think for me, the one change as to make the choice to get back into a routine of just physical well-being. That's it.
I agree to that, man. I agree to that. I need to.
That bod is real. That bod is real.
Oh, yes. I know. And it lasts.
Yes. And that's why we got to make the choice now to do something about it.
Well, for me, it's a bit late, but still getting there. No. But I think even more than the diet bod, the energy level, the release of all of that, as you said, the physical impact, the emotion.
How can I show up if I'm dead?
Man, that is so true.
Oh, come on, right?
Like, that is so true. Like, how can I show up if I'm dead? I love this one. Is
that the closing statement?
Oh, I think that is. Okay. Josh, was such a pleasure.
Hey, Vivien, thanks so much, man. Yeah.
I don't know if it will be lasting for 1 or 2 episodes. We will see, because this is a long...
That was good stuff. This is a great conversation. I learned a lot from you, man. So thank you so much for sharing.
Man, same. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
I see you on the next episode.
See you in the next episode, brother.
Sure.
Take care.
Take care, everyone.